What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Hope everybody's having a fabulous Friday. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum and take a look at where we might be headed. And I'm going to tell you why I believe 7,900 this week is extremely important for the longer term. We'll take a look at that. Also, I want to remind you guys, there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Totally free, guys. Check it out. Awesome community. Also, I'm going to be giving away a free t-shirt on Sunday. All you have to do to enter to win is hit the subscribe button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. That'll get you entered to win. Sunday, watch Sunday's video, and you'll have 24 hours after I pick the random comment winner to claim your t-shirt. Let's get into the video, see what's going on. Alright guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, make sure you hit the subscribe in the lower right hand side of the screen to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash those likes and leave your comment, which also gets you entered to win a free t-shirt. All right, looking at Bitcoin on the weekly. But before we do that, we do have some Black Friday sales. It is Black Friday. There's some essentials that if you're in crypto, you should be using. The first one we got here is TradingView. And they're having a 60% off sale. I believe it ends today. So if you want to take advantage of that and get the pro version, it's $60 off, and you also get they give you $30 for the pro version. The links to all these are below the video. There's also the Ledger hardware wallet. Keep your crypto safe, keep them off the exchanges. 30% off. Definitely a great deal. If you're you should be keeping your crypto safe, and this is a cheap way to do it with a nice discount. There's also ELLIPAL. They're having Black Friday sale too. On this one, you can get the ELLIPAL Titan and the metal pneumatics, which store your keys. You'll save $159 if you buy two of each. You save $106, $48 if you buy one. You save $88 if you get two ELLIPAL Titans. So, you know, check out the deals. Also, my wife's webpage, this is where you'll pick the t-shirts from, or you can go here and get some. Great Christmas gifts, guys, if you know crypto people. She can put any crypto you want on any of this stuff. There's t-shirts, coffee mugs, signs, yeah, hats, whatever. She can put anything you want on these. There's also hoodies and stuff that aren't on here. Hoodies, keychains, some other stuff. Hit her up in the contact for those. She can put anything you want, family pictures, any crypto. It doesn't have to be just what you see here. Great Christmas gifts, guys, and a great way to support the channel. All right, back over to Bitcoin on the weekly. Still looking at this as a big bull flag. And this is what I was talking about the 79. Right here, the 55 EMA. Whoops, sorry about that. The 55 EMA, which is the yellow line here, I believe we have to close above this, or we could be looking for much lower lows. I do believe we can close the weekly above this, and I'll show you why I'm saying that. As you can see, we closed this candle below it. We open this candle. As long as we don't open and close a candle below this 55 EMA on the weekly, we should be okay. As you can see, other times when we do close, open and close below it, it turns bearish. But I do want to show you over here. As you can see here, we kind of wrote it over here, but we closed candles below it and opened candles, but we never opened and closed a candle below it. Therefore, we stayed above it. So that's key to me, guys. Also, if we look at the RSI, actually, we want to look at the RSI in the monthly. We'll do that over here on this chart. All right, so on the monthly, still looking at this as a bull flag, guys. We're getting a nice wick here. Like I said, as long as we close above the 7,900, I think we'll be okay. On the weekly, this is the monthly though, and that's the bull flag I'm looking at. And if we look at the weekly RSI, as you can see, I have this red trend line here, which we bounced off of over here in August of 2015 before this big bull market started. We have bounced off the same support here, guys. That's pretty significant as of now. Like I said, as long as we close the weekly above that, 7,900, which is right here on the weekly. Now, as you can see, I have this falling wedge type bull flag drawn in here. Also have this dotted line here. This would be if we don't close above this 55 EMA on the weekly, chances are we'll either come back down to test this or come all the way back down to the 200 EMA, which is going to be around the 4,900. But I wouldn't be worried about that unless we close below this 55 EMA on the weekly. And as you can see in this formation, our volume's declining. I do think we'll have a breakout. If we can break the top of this, guys, that is going to be extremely bullish, and I will show you the target. If that is a bull flag that we're looking at there, a measured move of that would be measuring the flagpole from the breakout down here and bringing that up to the top. If we broke it next month, our target would be around $18,700 range, but that doesn't mean that we get one big green candle up, guys. It could happen, but most likely it would take a few months to get up to that range. Let's look at the daily, and then we'll go on to Litecoin, and then we'll move on to Ethereum. So on the daily, as you can see here, I have this $5,400 target being the bottom of this. If we do get down to this target, I think that'll be within the next couple days. Even though I don't think we're gonna, because I do believe that we're gonna close above that 55 EMA on the weekly. But the reason I have this there, it lines up with this trend line, which is just a clone line of this top line here, and lines up with the 0.786, guys, Fibonacci. But we did bounce out of this golden pocket zone, and we are getting support on the top right now, so that's a good sign. Like I said, as long as we can close above the 7,900 this Sunday's candle. All right, so looking at this as a falling channel, we popped up out of, came back down in, and now we are outside of this channel again, which is a good sign. Let's go into the 4-hour RSI, and we were looking at this rising broadening wedge. Still inside it, but we came into a falling broadening wedge and popped out of it here, which we were looking at this RSI, if you guys watch the channel, as we're looking at it way down here as a possible inverse head and shoulders, which that's exactly what happened. We do have more room to the upside on the 4-hour, and we'll look at that in the price action. We'll look at the bearish and the bullish, guys. So I am more steering towards the bullish side here. So there's a few targets I have in here. This $8,000 target is measuring this here as a flagpole, and this being the bull flag that we popped out of right here, and that measured move was the $8,000 range, which when we get up there, most likely will be around the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. Actually, the 200 is going to be a little bit higher, around 8,100, somewhere in there. So that is a possibility to get up to that. Also, I'm looking at some other formations here. If you guys watched yesterday's video, whoops, let me get back down here. If you guys watched yesterday's video, I had this line drawn in here. Instead, if it broke, I would place a long in there and then a stop loss just below it. If you would have collected profit up here, you're good. If not, you would have got stopped out, not lost much money. But anyways, if anybody's trading or would like to dabble in leverage trading, I don't suggest high leverage, but if you do want to play around in it, if you're not experienced, I would definitely be careful. And guys, don't trade without stop losses and stuff, but I'll leave a Bybit tutorial up here. You get a $60 bonus if you sign up using my link. I also have a Prime XBT link down there that you would get a 35% bonus on whatever you put in there. So anyways, let's get on with it. Now, the EMAs here on the 4-hour, I pointed this out in the Discord yesterday. we were crossing, the AEMA was crossing the 55 here, and we kind of got this fake out. It came back down, but we are crossing again, and it looks very bullish. Also, I had pointed out a few days ago, these three candles here as being three white soldiers, excuse me guys, that is very bullish. I do believe we're most likely going to break up here, and we'll talk about those targets. Excuse me. All right, right now. So I have these other formations. Let me get this out of here since that's played out now. I have this widening, falling, broadening wedge here. And like I said, with the EMAs crossing here, guys, that's pretty damn bullish. I have some targets here I want to take a look at. This is what everybody was looking at as a inverse head and shoulders. And if that's the case, it did break. And the measured move of that, what the hell happened there? Get that out of there. All right, the measured move of that would be, we would put a line straight across here as the trend line. If you guys can see that, I'll fatten it up a little bit. But that would be the neckline, and the measured move off that would be up around the $8,200 range, which is possible. I'm looking for that $8,000 range, which would get us above that $69 or $79 range. If we get up here and we can make support of this, which, guys, I'm just going to give you my opinion real quick. I think everybody's most likely, if we get up to the 8,000, they're going to be putting shorts in there, thinking that's all the further we're going to go. And I believe if that happens, they're going to get short squeezed. It's going to push us up much higher. This could be a huge, huge change in what's going on with Bitcoin right now. We'll have to wait and see, of course. And we have to keep in mind the lower targets. And this one being 7,200. And that's just looking at the Fibonacci's I have drawn on this bigger view. But I do have a lower target, guys. This would be the lower target. If we don't get above that 7,900, 5,400 could be in the cards, which is the 0.786 Fibonacci, guys. So just so you guys know, that's what I'm looking at. Now, let's go over to Litecoin. But again, guys, I'm bullish here. I believe we'll get up to the $8,000 range at least. And like I said, there may be a huge short squeeze once we get there. So anyways, if you were here around 6,000, you watched my channel, you remember everybody. You got to remember, people were saying we would never get above 6,000 this year because that was going to be huge resistance because it was support for so long. And if you guys watched my channel back then, I was saying everybody that, you know, doesn't think we're going to get over the 6,000, I'll see you at 10,000. And we all know what happened after that. But we may be having the same type thing around this $8,000 range, guys. Tons of people got shorted here at 6,000 because every YouTuber was saying we wouldn't get past 6,000, and we blew through it like butter, and people just got wrecked, lost everything. So anyways, that's what happened there. Let's get into Litecoin. Looking at Litecoin on the daily, I have this rising channel here, and this is the bearish case scenario, guys. The measured move off of that would get us down to that $3,700 range. If you look at these three wicks here, let me get that RSI off there for right now. If you look at these three wicks here, I have this trend line drawn across, and actually it would be down a little bit more. There we go. But yeah, that would be, you know, if that trend line held, it would be way over in towards the end of December when we hit this $37 target, if that was the case. But I'm going to move this up here like this. Look at this as a rising wedge. Take the measured move of that, which is the same. And if that's the case, it already played out, and we should be heading up from here. Let's go into the daily RSI. Looking at this falling wedge, or falling channel, sorry. I always call it, it's a falling channel. So many people call it a falling wedge. This is a channel. A wedge gets thinner or wider. Anyways, and we're in another channel right here, rising channel. We broke down a little bit here. I believe that to be a bull or a bear trap. The question is, do we come back down for another test before up? I don't think so. I think we're going to continue up and at least test the top of this channel. And I'll show you in the 4 hour. Looking at it in the 4 hour, we have this falling wedge here. We had a bear trap down here. Looked like a bull trap up here. But if you look, we came down and tested the top of this channel. And we are on our way back up. That's why I believe we could be heading up for a huge bull move all the way up in this area on the RSI. Now, if we look at where we're at now, let's take a look at the price action, and then we'll move on to Litecoin. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, guys, and smash those likes and leave your comments for a chance to win the free t-shirt. Now, this is going to look a little messy, but I'll explain. This was the measured move we just looked at, the worst case scenario, all the way down here to the 37 area, 36, 37, somewhere in that range. And that just being the measured move of this rising channel with the break of it right here, around the $37, $38 range, which would be retesting the bottom of this. And like I said, if that happens, that could be as early as the first week of December, if we go that route, which I don't believe we're gonna. We'll take a look at the other measured moves I got here. Like I said, it's kind of messy. I'll try to explain it and clear it up as I do. If we look at this here as a rising wedge, you see this line here and this line here. And we take a measured move of that. That would be the widest point of the wedge. Bring it over. If we were to break down in this area, guys, and as you can see right now, we're getting resistance off the 55 EMA on the 4 hour. I believe we'll most likely break that, but the bearish case down there would be coming down to the 42, which would also be a double bottom here, which again, guys, that is possible if this is a wedge. Now I'm going to get that out of the way and take a look at this as a falling broadening wedge, and the measured move of that would be measuring, it wouldn't be that one, it would be this one, would be measuring the widest point of the wedge here and put it up to where we broke that line. That gets us up to about the 53.50 range. Now I have another one up here at the 55.18 range, and that one would be looking at this as an inverse head and shoulders, just like in Bitcoin right there. And the break of this next neckline, the measured move of that would be up to that 55.18 range. So I do have this wide target here in between 53.50 and 55.18. The other way to look at that, guys, is looking at this whole thing here as a broadening wedge, using that blue line as the top of it, yellow or white line on the bottom. The measured move of where we would break out there gets us up to the 57.60 range. And let me put a target, a channel in there, and I'll show you why that one is likely. That would be retesting the bottom of this channel, and that would be around the first week of December, the very beginning of December. So this is more what I'm thinking is going to happen, guys. I'd be looking between the 53.50 and the 57.60 for our next stop in Litecoin, as long as we can break this next neckline and get support on it. Otherwise, we'll be looking at the lower ones. Ethereum. All right, so looking at Ethereum, you know what? Let me go back to Litecoin real quick and look at the RSI, or the EMAs. And as of right now, we're getting squeezed in these EMAs. Let me get this out of the way so you can see. Squeezed in between the lower EMAs and the 55 EMA. That's most likely going to create a spring here, and it'll compress, get real tight, and then most likely head up to our higher targets. Worst case, down to our lower. I see the higher targets, though. Ethereum. Looking at Ethereum on the daily. And if we look at the big picture, I have the Fibonacci retracement on here. We blew through the golden pocket on Ethereum. We did come down to the 0.786 and got support down here, which is pretty bullish as long as we can hold support. If not, we'll most likely come down and retest the bottom of this channel. But the measured move of the break of this channel, if we break out within the next few days, is going to be around $255. Again, not one green candle straight up, guys, but that would be the target of the break of this falling channel here. But bearish case scenario, we come down and test the bottom of this again. And let me zoom in real quick. If we looked at this, where it broke down as a flag pull, and looked at this as a bear flag forming now, let me get this up here. Looked at this as a bear flag here forming now, that would also get us down to that 106 range, which would be the bottom of this. If that happens, I think that's going to happen pretty quick here, guys. But like I said, as long as Bitcoin can stay above 7,900 for this weekly candle, I don't think we're going to have to worry about these lower lows. Let's look at the RSI. Now, as you can see in RSI, we have this falling channel here and this rising channel, which we fell out of here. I consider a bear trap, and now we are getting back in this channel. If we can close the daily up in this channel, I think we're in good shape, and we should get support on this channel. Next step would be to break out of this falling channel. Let's look at the 4 hour, see if that helps us at all. 4 hour, we have this falling channel here. We had a bear trap down here, and we broke out of the top of it here. Looks like we came down, almost tested the top, so we could come back down still and test the top, but it does look like we have more room to head up, and we're most likely going to be heading up from here. We will take a look at these targets now. This is going to be a little messy too also, but I will explain it the best I can for you. All right, we'll take a look at the bearish case first. Bearish case would be coming down to, as you can see here off these 2 wicks, I have this trend line. That would be coming back down to test this trend line. I doubt that's going to happen. But as you can see, we broke out of this wedge here in the blue. And if I take a measured move of the width of the wedge to where we broke out, that gets us up to about the $170 range, 170, 171, which would also line up with the 200 EMA. Then we have, oh, that's the same one. Sorry about that. Okay, and then the next thing to look at here would be looking at, let me put a trend line in here. Straight across. As you can see, we're getting resistance on the 55 EMA here, which I believe we're going to pop up above it, get support on it, and continue up to our 170, maybe 176, and I'll show you why. That would be looking at this. Let me get these fibs off here. There's also a possibility I wanted to point out that we come down and test the 0.5 fib at 143 here. If we can't get above the 55 EMA around 156, then we have a possibility coming to 143, which is the 0.5 fib and the top of this trend line. I doubt it, but it is possible. Okay, now I put this trend line across the top. Like I said, this could also be the same thing as in Bitcoin and Litecoin, which would be an inverse head and shoulders. Whoops, sorry, that is drawn wrong. Let me redo that. Which would be an inverse head and shoulders, and looking to break the top now. The measured move off of that, if we break out up here, would be around 176. So a break of this, a good solid break of the 155.50 area, 156, let's just say 156. Our target would be between 170 and 176 area. One of these two targets should hit nicely. Again, if we can't break this line, then we'd be looking at the bearish targets down here. So let me get this one out of the way. That is the same thing in Litecoin. Could have a double bottom down here if we break below this, but I don't see that happening. I'm pretty confident we should break above this 156 area. Again, I could be wrong, and we could get resistance there and not get above it. Fear and greed index today is around 31, which is a little bit lower than yesterday by 1 point. Like I said, I don't usually, you don't want to trade off of this, but it does give you an idea where the market's at. I don't know how accurate it is, but it does it does pretty decent, you know, looking at the big picture. But that's where I'm at with everything, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe by clicking the CryptoSavy logo above my head. Smash the likes and leave your comment for your chance to win the free t-shirt. Let me know what you think, where you think Bitcoin's headed, whatnot. And don't forget the Black Friday specials, ELLIPAL, Ledger, TradingView, all available by using my links down below. There's also the trade links and other affiliate links down there that really help the channel out and keep this content free. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you later.